Actual boxers taking a backseat to YouTubers again on DAZN. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It definitely helps the channel. And Conor McGregor's getting ready to do a pay-per-view. Order it from me. Helps. And I appreciate you guys. Now, I had to address this because, you know, on my channel, this is what we do. We front runners, trendsetters. We set the gold standard in boxing. And I seen something that really worries me. Like, we're going straight off the cuff, smash the like button. Hopefully you guys rock with the video. But, you know, I cover boxing. I've been doing it for years before DAZN was even a thing. And I just feel like DAZN does a lot of clout chasing. Like, look, they're posting Mike Tyson a video of him fighting when he was 15 years old. Like, what does that got to do with DAZN? You know, Ryan Garcia's calling out Tank. It's just like a lot of the, I don't know, the content that I'm seeing. And the reason this is important to me is because this is my sport. And I feel like, you know, they'll put like fantasy matchups that we're nowhere close to getting. They never happen. It'll be like Canelo versus Jorge Masvidal. And you know, that's not going to happen. Dana White doesn't even like Oscar De La Hoya. So why would he work together? You know, so it's like, who should Canelo fight next? Andrade, Charlo, knowing these fights aren't likely to happen. Talking about Joshua and Wilder, knowing Wilder's fighting Fury in February. And then now they're trying to integrate newfound YouTubers. It's like really like celebrity boxing almost. And they have fights like Jake Paul versus Anderson GIBB. I'm not even sure who Anderson GIBB is. However, I understand he has some kind of YouTube following and they want to fight each other, and maybe this has been brewing. But this is an actual card with an Olympian, and what I seen was pretty embarrassing, if you will. These two are YouTubers, content creators, influencers, prank channels, whatever, and they're turning pro for the first time. The reason I resent this is because boxing, people lose their lives. We've seen Maxim Dadashev, Patrick Day. This is not like a gimmick. This is not something that you can just pick up and start doing. You got to really take this serious. You could have long-lasting injury, things like that. And I understand fighters and content creators and stuff getting big bags and paychecks, but I think the human life is more important than stuff like this. Like, luckily for Logan Paul, KSI, looked like they trained pretty hard, and, you know, no one seemed to be seriously hurt, even though there's like traded knockdowns and stuff like that. But, you know, it's like, it's going to take for one of these weird guys who turning pro to get seriously hurt, mortally wounded, for people to realize this. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, God forbid anybody gets hurt in one of these like circus act type of fights. The other issue is you have lifelong boxers, Olympians like Andrade, and also Jojo Diaz on this card, and the promotion seems to be kind of behind Jake Paul and Anderson GIBB clout chasing because they have a fan base, even though the fan base is not really boxing fans. To me, this is not what DAZN came in the game preaching. Like, their mission statement was pay-per-view is dead. You know, we got a product that everyone in boxing will be satisfied with. The price is cheaper than a pay-per-view, and we're going to really blow the minds of boxing fans. And that's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, out of all the fights DAZN has ever done, Logan Paul and KSI probably had the most social media posts, the most push, the most promotion behind it, a well-made 40 days documentary. You know, how are you going to do a docuseries 40 days and have it well made for that fight, KSI Logan Paul 2, but the one for Canelo versus Kovalev was horrible. You got Maverick Carter and DJ Khaled, like people who aren't necessarily known for boxing, and the whole episode really didn't even focus on the boxers. It was people like that and Draymond Green, their opinions on the match. DJ Khaled was saying some weird stuff. Yeah, I want people to come to my fights if I was a fighter because we the best. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you're not the fighter. What is he talking about? So it didn't really let me into the world of Canelo's mindset, Kovalev's mindset. It was really almost like a gimmick. Just you got some named musicians and athletes and then slapped them on a show and showed a couple quick clips of Canelo and Kovalev on the heavy bag. That's it. Very bland, poorly put together. I video edit. I promise you, given the same access, I could destroy that edit. But I peeped this. This is DAZN. If you go to their application, their streaming application, and this is what it shows. Pat McAfee show, Total Combat review, whatever this is. Another Pat McAfee, an upcoming fight, says live from the Alamo Dome, Jaime Munguia moving up, fighting Gary Spike O'Sullivan. And, you know, Munguia Aladi, Munguia versus Hogan. So I guess trying to get you in the mindset of how Munguia fights. But this right here, horrible. I don't know if you guys can see. Hold on. You see? Right there. Super Bowl week, it says Jake Paul versus GIBB. Then it shows Andrade and his opponent Lucas Keeler, which is not a big fight for boxing. So the actual boxer, the Olympian, and the guy that just beat Luis Cuba Arias and upset him, they don't even show their names. You see that? It says Super Bowl week, Jake Paul versus GIBB. Like, this is the main attraction. And all of the press information says that Andrade versus Keeler is the main event. So once again, the clout chase is supreme. Why would you, if the real boxer who's the main event on this card, this is disrespectful. Why does it say Super Bowl week, Jake Paul versus GIBB, and then you just have a random black guy and a random Irish guy with no label? That doesn't grow the sport of boxing, which is what DAZN said they were here for. You know, how is Andrade, like the guy we know has a career in boxing? We don't know what Jake Paul and Anderson GIBB, they might love it, they might hate it. We don't know what's going to happen in that particular fight. They're 0-0. They haven't touched down. They haven't done anything in boxing. But the guys like Lucas Keeler and Andrade, who have dedicated their lives to boxing, they're the main event, but almost get treated like an afterthought and put on the back burner. You don't even know, going to DAZN's own home screen, whoever does their graphics or whatever, it just says Super Bowl week, Jake Paul versus GIBB. Like, this is the highlight of it, like, because they're trying to use the star power of these kids' audience and fan base that they've generated over the year. So yeah, I resent that as a boxing fan and as a boxing reporter. Look at it. YouTube superstars face off in a Miami card featuring Andrade versus Keeler, January 30th. Man, oh man. YouTube superstars. Look at the presentation. Jake Paul and GIBB, YouTube superstars, face off on Miami card featuring Andrade Keeler. But to my knowledge, this was supposed to be the main event. So I just feel it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful that that's the main event, but based on this graphic and what's on your own app, it doesn't appear that. To me, I would think, as like, let's say I just purchased the app and I'm sifting through it. This looks like the main attraction. Beyond that, Tevin Farmer and JoJo Diaz, if you ask real boxing heads and real boxing fans and people like me who report on boxing, cover several fights, we know that that's probably the best fight on the card. Yet, this fight with Jake Paul and Anderson Gibb, who boxing heads by and large don't all know who these guys are, right? This takes, precedence and becomes the co-feature, and Tevin Farmer and JoJo Diaz take a back seat to this fight, a YouTube fight. This is just poor from DAZN, period. And I wonder what JoJo Diaz, I actually seen he posted something, but I getting money is cool, but I feel like respect is more important. Respect is more important. Look at what people are saying. This is disrespect to Tevin Farmer and JoJo Diaz, no cap. And you got JoJo Diaz, another, just like Andrade, an Olympian who he has to fight underneath Jake Paul. And look, Joseph Diaz just put the scope, like, I don't know, man. I just can't get with that. I feel like that's so disrespectful for the boxers. Like, first of all, I don't care who gets money. There's a lot of money to go around or whatever. And see, look, Boo Boo Andrade returns to headline our Monster Miami show, to headline. But if you go to their app, it doesn't look like a headline. It says Andrew Keeler, Paul versus Gibb, Roman, and then they have Farmer Diaz. Like, this is poor from Matchroom, poor from DAZN. They're trying to clout chase YouTubers because they have this amazing audience. Jake Paul, I'm sure he has a lot of Instagram followers and probably this Anderson Gibb dude. So they're trying to make it look like that's the attraction. And why don't you make this the main event then? If Jake Paul, look, he got 12.8 million followers. Anderson Gibb, he got 533. Why not just make this the main event? If that's how you're treating it, download the app. They're making it like this is the main attraction. So I can't get with that. And I feel like I'm probably the consistent one who stands up for boxing time and time again. I'm the guy that stands up for boxing. All the old media act like they don't see this. But when Mayweather was fighting Conor McGregor, two professional fighters, might I add, like two guys who fight for a living, irregardless of if Conor McGregor was a boxer, he's done boxing training. He's a professional fighter. He has power, right? And guess what? Old media said, oh, this is horrible. I can't believe this. And this ruined Floyd. And this is an embarrassment to boxing. And old media ain't saying anything about this and about Logan Paul and KSI. I'm talking about the media. So I'll stand up for boxing each and every time. Y'all don't have to worry about it. Let's see what people said. See, and then DAZN got bots putting the same thing. Will DAZN respond? Does DAZN respond? Double check if you respond. Because this was getting poor feedback from people. So, they try to bleed out the comment section. All the comments, hi DAZN. It's not even asking it. But if you go to actual things that, because you can't see the thing about buying bots and subs and things like that is it's not real. It's fake. So once you can try to create and shift the perspective and perception, but you can't do it everywhere all the time. It would cost too much. So as soon as you go to Twitter or somewhere else where people are free to put their true opinions, then you get to see what people really think. Okay, let's check this. This is the fight card. And see right there, they put, what the hell? man, they should put this. Tevin Farmer and Jojo Diaz, boxing fans are saying it should be the main event. 7-figure gibber. Shit for UK fans who have to work the next day. Jake Paul versus GIBB should be the headliner. Like, come on, what? Farmer versus Diaz deserved the headline. Look, cloud chasing Charlo. See, look. Farmer Diaz is a great fight as well. Absolute shit. Man, whatever. Anyway, I think it's a disrespect. Jake Paul and GIBB, they should be at the bottom of this card. You know, but again, as a business, DAZN it looks like falling flat and struggling. So they're just trying to get subs any way they can. And I think it's, you know, kind of embarrassing, especially since they came in the game and said pay-per-view is dead, and Eddie Hearn's constantly talking about Al Heyman and what he's doing and the moves he made and the mistakes he made with PBC. Well, this don't look good either. Let me know what you guys think. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.